All right, man. So yeah, what's good? What's good? Where are you right now?
Sunny Portugal, in the south of Portugal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
it's. I
city?
mean, I'm in a very very small city. It's called Portimao.
Tell us a little quick introduction, man. Just tell me about yourself, bro.
Where do I start? Yeah, it's been a journey, man. From where I'm from, like no one does what I do. It's like I'm basically alone. So that's why I'm trying
Was you
to
born in
move.
this? Is it the same city? Is that where you was born? Small town, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm from a
Yeah, very
small
small
town
town.
myself. I understand.
Yeah, yeah. This is just, man, I just have a beach here. Like tourists come here to go to the beach and then they go off again. And we have like a lot of Brits coming in, just go to the beach and
All
chill in
right,
the
all right. Yeah,
summer,
yeah.
and then yeah, they're off. We basically live off tourism. So
All right, all right.
when it's the winter time, it's done. Like currently there's nothing open. It's just
Very
nothing
quiet.
to do.
Yeah.
So, yes, I just stay at home, work, and yeah, that's basically it. But from the beginning, like I've always been like into like art and stuff like that. So since at like a very young age, like 3, 4, I actually have a drawing when I was like 4, I think. I was like cutting up like fabrics and I was like pasting them on paper and doing like clothes in it. Bro, it's crazy. Like my mom showed me that and I was like, yo, what? I was 4 and I was doing that.
Yeah.
Like it really opened my eyes, like I love like fashion and stuff like that, but I never thought that I was like at 4 years old and I was doing that. You know, it was like pretty crazy. But
How old are you now?
um, I just turned 24 now, so my journey has been like quite like alone, like lonely. I've been, I think I like discovered like the true passion for fashion when I was like 12 or 13. I was just like in summer vacation in school, and I was just browsing YouTube, and I came across a guy called Always Fresh Apparel, Jacob
Yeah.
Keller,
Oh yeah,
in his videos, and I
Jay.
was like, yeah, yeah, and this is sick, man. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
I want to do this. I was like rocking like man hype caps and like obey and stuff like that. I was like, hell yeah, because where I'm from, I never had like a man, I, like how do I say this? I never had like a. It never opened my eyes to like what it could be out there.
Outside. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, man, these guys are so sick. Um, and yeah, it was around that time that I was like, yeah, fashion is like what I want to do. And then from there, I was like, how can I like go to this? Because I had no experience. It was like, how can I enter this world
Yeah.
and grow from there? So I was already doing like some graphic design stuff on the side, just for fun, Photoshop and stuff like that. Just watching YouTube videos, tutorials, and then copying the stuff. When it came like the time to choose like a course in school, I just chose like design and multimedia. When I entered the school and started getting classes and stuff like that, I already knew everything that they were trying to teach me. So I was
Mm.
like, oh, this is kind of a waste of time for me. So I stood there for like 2 years, studied for 2 years there, but then on the last year I decided to drop out. So
Yeah.
just dropped out. It wasn't like worth it. I was paying a lot of money, and my parents were spending money, and we don't come from a family with money.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad down here. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna drop out school and just do my thing.
How
Uh,
long ago was this?
this was when I was 18, so a few years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just dropped out, and then I was like, yeah, so now I need a job just to support myself, I guess. So I started working at a clothing store, like a fast fashion clothing store. Stood there for like 2, 3 years, and then dropped out again. And now I'm doing freelance, just working with brands, with musicians, festivals, and stuff like that. Just doing design work, graphic, merch, stuff like that.
Good dog. Perfect.
But yeah, yeah,
And how are you finding work? Like, how do you find the work?
man, email, purely email. It's
Do
really
you,
underrated.
so I would assume that you have to put a lot of work in to get that work.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not a case of saying, "Oh, I'm a graphic designer," and people are just coming to you. It's like what I'm trying to do here as well, Fabio, is that we're talking in the sense of like that there's other people, like younger people listening, who are probably looking for, you know, how we do what we do, you know. So they might perceive it as, oh, you're already established, you're a graphic designer, so people are just coming to you for work. It's about showing them the graft. You get me? That you got to put the work in to get
None of
paid.
that. Yeah, none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. Not easy, especially like for me. I'm in a very small city. I don't have any connections whatsoever. I'm just purely alone. It's just me, myself, and I. You know, I have to go out there. I have to put in work, design for free, do shit for free, because you need to show people what you can do. You know, so just do a bunch of stuff for free. Just do fun projects, do stuff you really enjoy to do, and then put it all in a website. That's what I did. Put it all in my website. Start sending emails. Search for the people you're trying to connect with. Bro, there's a lot of emails out there. You just have to look in Google. It's not that hard. Just go on, send them an email. Just say, yo, I'm really love your work. Really love what you do. I'm a freelance designer. Here's my work. If you think we can do something together, just shout me. That's it.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you're not gonna get a reply, but it is what it is. You know, you just it is what it is.
This is what I was gonna say. I think like to do what you do takes a lot of like courage, but determination. You get me? You have to, like, I'm sure you send probably like 50 emails, and maybe you probably don't even get. You know what I mean? You don't get a reply. So it's about being focused and determined. Yeah.
Yeah. There was one night I remember I sent 100 emails in one night, and I got 2 replies.
There you go.
That was it. That was it.
That's the work.
And none of the 2, and none of the 2 actually end up working with me. But I got the connection made. You know. Now if they need something, they might remember me. Exactly. And next time I'll approach them. They're like, oh yeah, I remember this guy because he approached me like 2 years ago. No, it's just stuff can happen, man. You never know. You never really know. It's just
So what's your how did you hear about the EbyE initiative, and what made you want to enter?
Man, it's actually quite funny because you know Kofi, the unknown vlogs, right? So I've been following him for like years on YouTube, years and years and years. And I actually discovered EJDER because of him, because of his vlogs. It was just vlogging in store and stuff like that. And yeah, I've been following ever since. So when I saw like the opportunity, I was like, let me join this, because you never know. Again, you never really know what can happen.
Yeah.
Just go at it, man. And that's really how I discovered you guys. This was crazy.
Yeah, exactly. What would you say was your main motivation to enter? Like, what was it that you was, you know, did you hope or expect to get out of the experience or opportunity? Like, how did you perceive it?
Well, like I thought of it like, in worst case scenario, I just have another t-shirt to show potential clients. That was it. I want to do this, and in case I didn't win or whatever, I just still have a piece of like good work that I can show to someone.
Like a library, right? I guess you're forever working on that library, and just keep building and building.
Always, always. If I see an opportunity that can like bring in something, I will always jump on it. Always, no matter what.
Could you tell me a little bit about your like design process? You know, like from the beginning to like, you know, how do you work? Like, draw your influences, mood boards, maybe just in a very simplistic way, you know, like explain it.
Yeah, so basically what I do is I always take in consideration the brief of the client or the composition or whatever. And I always take it like very seriously. So what I do is I read it, then I go back to the page or the website or whatever it is, the brand, the client, whatever it is, and do like a lot of research, like what have they done in the past and stuff like that, just so I don't like clash with ideas that they've done before. From there, I try to sketch out some like rough sketches of some ideas, random stuff. Then I move on to Pinterest, start pitting like stuff that I like really like something like a design, like imagine a typography, a graphic, whatever it is. I just put it on a board, stay there. then from my designs, like the rough sketches, go on Illustrator and just like start sketching again with pen, just go over and over and over. And from there, I might have like a solid idea to move forward. If I don't, I'll keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing until I like find something that I really enjoy.
So it's a combination of you really just sketching, i.e. coming from what's inside your head, and also merging that then with some research and references, and then kind of putting everything together to kind of meet the brief and find out, you know, what the final design will be.
Yeah, I always look like what they've done in the past. I think that's very important, like archive stuff.
Our brief was very open, wasn't it? It was like basically just design a t-shirt because I wanted to give, you know, the freedom, creative control to you guys.
Yeah.
And like you come up with the youth culture. So how and why did you arrive at that for EJDER?
I think since I've been following you guys for so long, it was like, I think it just clicked in my head. Like, you guys are for the culture, right? And what's next? The youth is next. So I was like, yeah, so the youth culture, that's what it is. And then I just started sketching around with like typography and stuff like that. And I came to this like idea that like a rough like stencil kind of thing with the dots in the letters. And that was when I got to that, I was like, yeah, I think it's it. And I did like a couple of different variations of it, but that one, I think it was
So how would you say the experience was in doing it yourself? Like, you know, from sketching the ideas, seeing it entering to being here today, you know, and getting the most votes. Like, what's the experience been like for you?
Man, it was sick. I also like the design itself took me like, I think it took me like a week and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
So then I didn't show it to anyone. I just sent it off. And then I just waited until the finalists came on. And when the finalists came on, I was like, hell yeah. Okay, so now I can start showing people what I've been doing. Started posting around and instantly got like people sending me DMs and stuff like that. Come on, you got this, man. Come on, you got this. And the other designs were actually very good, actually. So I was like, okay, there's competition here, but it's like, even if I don't win, man, it's just for fun, whatever.
Exactly.
I never entered this. Never entered it like thinking that I was gonna win and I was gonna do it.
Did it give you like an opportunity to engage more with your audience, your community, your followers? Did you really think it like provided an opportunity for you to kind of mobilize and get them together and, you know, engage with them?
Man, 100%. When I posted like the story saying the post was up and just go there and vote, man, it was insane. Like the amount of like DMs I got, I was like, yeah, come on, man, you got this. And even people from my city that I was like really not expecting it, like people that I don't even speak to, man, like for years and years back, they were like, come on, man, you got this. I remember you doing stuff like this. Come on. And then like after I won, and it was announced that it was on Urban Outfitters and stuff like that, man, people from my city was like, come on, man, come on, man. I'm so proud of you and stuff like that. Yeah, it was like, yeah, that moment was,
It's interesting, Fabio, because that's, on one hand, that's almost more important than the design. You get what I'm saying? It's like that ability, that opportunity for you to kind of have that human interaction and that energy and positive spirit and bringing people together. People you said you probably hadn't spoke to before, and I feel like that is almost more valuable than, you know, winning. Almost, you know.
Man, 100%,
So that's what we want to do. We want to try and create these opportunities and you know, these environments where people can connect and come together and talk, share learning, inspire one another. Because no doubt, from somebody who, you know, younger than you in your hometown might look at that and, you know, just give them that incentive to like crack on and, you know, follow what they want to do, you know.
And exactly. I was really surprised when people from here, I started to like show love, because I never got that before. Yeah. It was the first time I think that people from here was like, come on, man, start like keep doing what you're doing. And that was amazing. Just like, that made me proud.
And how did it feel when you saw the, you know, the designs in Urban Outfitters and, you know, in the store?
That was crazy. It's crazy. crazy. Yeah, it's like I never thought this was gonna happen. Like when I entered the design contest, I was like, man, yeah, is this for fun? I'm gonna enjoy it. If I don't
Yeah.
win, I'm gonna connect with people. I'm still gonna connect with people that joined the contest, and that's gonna be it. Yeah, it was.
Well, I think for
when
me,
it, when
what drives me and EJDER is to really provide these tangible um, opportunities. You get me, like with output. So instead of just saying, "Oh, send us a design and we'll pick the winner," it's actually seeing it through to the end and trying to create something that I know, because I was like you guys before, dreaming of
yeah,
entering the space and whatever. So having that opportunity and actually seeing it materialize and manifest, to see like these people enter and have the designs in these stores around the world, I think is hugely important. And it's something that we're trying to like promote other brands and other people to just do more. Like if everyone does a little bit, then the impact on that is huge change within the culture, within the industry. But no, I was really happy to see your designs out there as well. um what would you say to someone who thinks who is thinking about entering, because we're going to run this again, we're going to be doing this again and again.
what I would say is like, go for it, man. You will never lose. You will never lose. Yeah, in case you don't get like the final win, doesn't really matter. Like the journey of doing it, you're still gonna learn stuff. You're still gonna connect with amazing people. You're still gonna connect with designers. You're still gonna have a platform out there, which is very important. Um, and go for it.
How has it helped you yourself, your brand? Because I know you've got a brand and you've got a vision and you want to. I believe you said that one day you want to have your brand carried in stores around the
Yeah.
globe. I mean, in what way would you say has it helped you at all, if any, in that with your
Man,
vision?
it helped me like actually seeing like one of my designs in stores. It's like for the first time ever, it helped me like realizing that I can really do this,
Yeah.
and I can do it like big. It like in a way it opened like a lot of doors. Now I'm just going through them, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm going full on.
And you know what as well, Fabio, if you've got, in your journey of what you're doing, if you have any questions
Yeah,
or, like you're not sure what to do next, you can always just hit me up, man. I'm not saying I'm always going to have the answer, but, time
yeah,
permitting and capacity and knowledge, and if I understand what to do, I will help you get me, in terms of like line sheets. And do you understand about things like that?
yeah.
I like creating the line sheets and, the order forms and how to
Yeah,
present and stores. And yeah, so we're always
yeah,
here, man. And this is something that, I want to develop even more. Like we're going to continue with this initiative, and I want it to grow. I want it to grow into something bigger, something more consistent, something more permanent. In the way in which I just said here, like even how we're talking today, trying to,
yeah,
share experience with each other, but also empower the listeners and give them, knowledge and tools as well. And in terms of the EbyE initiative, I want to create a space where things like that, because I think when you do it yourself, like I remember when I started, I didn't know anything, but now because I've done it for so long, it's all normal to me. Like for example, a line sheet. I know that there's
yeah,
talented kids out there who probably like doing good designs and whatever, but they're not sure how to kind of maneuver within the industry, or and how get their things out there and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm very passionate about trying to create environments which will empower our communities. You know.
and it's really hard when you're like alone trying to figuring all this out. It's really hard work. You really have to put your head down, like fail a lot, do a lot of stuff, trial and error, spend a lot of money. Man, it's hard. It's not easy, and
Yeah.
like
So do you?
the fashion community is like pretty closed in. There's not
Yeah.
like people don't really tell you exactly what you need to do. They're like always trying to keep stuff out, like
But I
on the
think that's
low.
that's
And you have to
that's what
kind
I'm passionate about changing, Fabio,
of,
because that's not me. I don't come
yeah,
from that. I come from, like you said, a small
exactly. Yeah,
town. And for me, I remember what it was like. I was 32 before I stepped into the space. It was always a hobby of mine. Do you get what I'm saying? I was
yeah,
always super passionate into rare streetwear, sneakers, the culture from
yeah,
years and years ago. I never had a way in. And now, you know, one way or another, I've got myself into a position. I'm passionate about trying to help other people, even like yourself. If there was a space where we're having meetings and there's more people of like-minded interests and stuff, just talking with each other in like a practical sense, you know, not just like social media, just having fun, but also, you know, how do you do this? I need to get to point A, I'm at B, what do I need to do? Somebody might have the answer, boom, it's helped you along, you know what I mean? It saved you a lot of time and money. All right, Dog. So what's next for you then? What's your plans? What's on the agenda?
Man, at the moment, I'm actually in the early stages of designing my next pieces for my clothing brand.
What's the name of your brand?
What it's called Fearful. I've been doing for like 2 years now, and just before COVID happened, I had like a solid 4 pieces that I was gonna release, but then then it
happened.
Factory, and then it happened, and then my factory messed up a lot of pieces, like out of nowhere. I don't know like what happened. Like
what was
they
you doing?
messed every single.
Was you sampling with them, or were you actually producing volume, or was you just sampling?
No. The samples were perfect. Like we did like 2 to 3 samples, and it was like perfect, ready to go. So I ordered like in bulk, and when it came, like every single piece was messed up. Every single piece was messed up.
This is learning for everyone listening. This is a big learning point for everyone listening. This is this is what happens. You've got to be very aware. You get your sample and you're happy, and then you go to order, and then the factories can try and save money and make shortcuts, you know, because they've crossed the line. So it's something to be very aware of. So what happened in that instance? What happened then with that?
So it was it's funny because I was so excited to do it. I recorded, like I was doing like a documentary, so I was recording every single piece of the journey until the release date. So I actually have it on camera, like the reaction of me just getting the pieces in bulk and watching it like all fall apart.
Did you share that? Have you ever posted it and shared it all?
I never posted it because I'm actually it's going to be part of something that I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
But essentially, when it got here, I was like really excited, and when I opened it, it was like a chaos, like pure chaos. Every single piece was messed up, and I was just thinking like, it's COVID is just starting now, so I cannot get this back to the factory. I cannot do anything. So I just spent like 4,000 euros on this. 4,000. It was like, man, I was working like 2 shifts every day just to pay for this.
Yeah.
On my old job, 2 shifts. I was so stressed. But then, man, nothing that I could do. Just.
So what did you do with the stock?
So now I finally, like a few weeks back, got in touch with them again, and we are trying to solve this problem. But they're saying that they cannot like give like a full refund. So I think they're going to give you like half of the money back.
Did you pay up front for the goods? Like, what was your payment terms with the factory?
I paid 50. No, I paid 70 upon shipping, and then the rest when it got to me.
Yeah.
And the factory is in Portugal as well, but it's in the north of Portugal. It's like 9 hours away from me.
I think what you want to try and do in that instance, in an ideal world, I understand it can be difficult, especially like as a new, brand or person entering the space. And if you haven't got a big, CV or repertoire, then the factories have more bargaining power. So they'll say, they want you to pay much. But if you're a big brand, then they're more likely to give you better terms. But nonetheless, I think you always want to be very aggressive when you're pushing for your terms with the factory because of situations that are likely to arise like this. In the sense of, I would suggest 30% up front, and then the remaining after delivery. But that can be a hard bargain to push because I know the factories can be very skeptical. But it is a bit of a minefield, isn't it? It's a difficult ground. But I think just first and foremost being aware of it, because some people who might not have heard this today, like we're talking about, might just assume, the samples, and then it's my production's going to be exactly the same. just be aware, you know, like it's not always the case. You have to be very careful of that when producing. Yeah. So what you're working on now? What pieces and stuff like? What's next?
So now I'm working on a hoodie, t-shirt,
Yeah.
a pair of sunglasses, and a hat. And hopefully I'm
Interesting.
going to release it. Yeah, hopefully I'm going to release it in like February, March next year. I'm really trying to do like everything in Portugal, but as a really small brand, like I'm just starting, it can get quite expensive.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
minimum quantities are difficult because some factories are like 50, 100, and those numbers add up like quite fast. So
Exactly.
you might think that 50 pieces is not much, but when you start like adding it up, it's a lot.
Yeah, because what a lot of
Coming
people
out,
do is start using blanks. So they start using ready-made garments and then adding,
yeah,
upscaling it through customization, print, embroidery,
yeah,
whatever, and just to start to get the wheels turning. And then once you've got like an
that's what,
engaged consumer base, then you feel
yeah,
you can transition. But I guess that's always the difficulty, isn't it? The passing of the baton between blanks into production, because obviously you get hit with a different punch when you go into production with the quantities and things like that. And as you said, if you've got 100 and then you've got 10 styles or even 5 styles, it's like 500 to 1,000 pieces. So that can be quite difficult. So
yeah.
did you used to work on blanks and things like that? Have you done that first, or are you just going straight into the cut and sew yourself?
The, the, the only things I'm not doing in blanks at the moment is hats and sunglasses. Hoodies are
Okay.
still blanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And t-shirts are blanks as well because man, it's really expensive.
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense. I think it's like, yeah, it's about the execution. I think there has been, like a perception of blanks in that it's blanks. But I think the way the world's changed and everything now, it does make a lot of sense in a lot of situations. And it's what you do with the product, I guess. You know what I mean? It's how creative
Exactly.
you are. And I think we know
Exactly.
from the past, it's like a lot of it's to do with the marketing as well. Do you know what I mean? As well as the product. So it doesn't. I think starting on blanks just makes complete sense, and you've got to be very aware that when you're getting into the factories, that you do start getting these minimum quantities, which can be very difficult.
Man, when I started with like 150 euros and 25 t-shirts.
There you go. That's it. That's the best way
That
to
was it.
start it.
And
Mm.
and like it sounds bad. It sounds bad, but none of my friends bought a t-shirt for me, so I just sold it online
Wow.
on Big Cartel at the time. Yeah,
So you need to
because
get some new
like I
friends,
told
bro.
like I told you, I was in school, like I was in high school, like I was 18,
Yeah.
19 at the time. I was just dropping out, and I just like took 150 that I had from like my summer job, and
Mm.
I just put it on 25 t-shirts, and that was it. I had a good following on Instagram, Big Cartel store. There you go, man. I sold like I think I sold 15 t-shirts, and then pushed me to do another batch of t-shirts. Those ones sold out, get me enough money to do a hoodie, sold out again, and that was it. Still on it, still on that grind, and it's sometimes it's not gonna work, but you
But
gotta
I
keep
think I
moving
think
forward. So
the most important thing that we can pull out of that is just doing it, isn't it? It's because you could be
yeah,
overthinking it
exactly.
for years, like, oh, I'm not ready, I'm going to get a whole collection design. But what I've learned from my experience is it's best to just do something. Like by doing, you then learn from it. Okay, that first t-shirt you put out, it might not have been the perfect t-shirt, or the fantastic quality that you dream of. But because you've started somewhere, you've learned, you've moved forward, you're moving forward. And I think there's a danger in that, like, again, from my experience and people I know, talented people, whether it's musicians, for example, I know some very talented musicians who was always waiting for that perfect song to make the perfect song. And they waited. They wouldn't put nothing out, they're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And before you know it, years have passed and life's gone and things have moved on. It's like, I feel like it's best to just be doing it. Don't overthink it. Put it out. Take some of the pros, take the cons, learn, and just keep moving forward, man. And I think that's what you've
Yeah,
done, and that's what you're in a position today where you're here working freelance. because you took that
Yeah,
risk, man. Just did it.
yeah. Perfection can be your worst enemy.
Yeah.
Like when you think, yeah, you just have to do it, man. You really have to do it, and it takes a while, and you have to learn from it. And especially if things don't work out the way you wanted it, just look back at it and just like, yeah, next time I'm not gonna do that, and that's it.
It's all
That's
learning,
what I
isn't
learned.
it? There's no mistakes. It's just all learning. It's just all learning. We're gonna drop the hoodies online in a couple of weeks. I'll give you a signal, let you know what's happening and when. But
Yeah,
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 if
okay.
everyone can if everyone, just push, let your audience know and whatever, and then you guys
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
get commission as well on the sales, and also Fabio, with your designs, as you
yeah.
guys were the first ones, we did the pre-launch with Urban Outfitters, but we actually have included your design and Barney's in the next collection line sheet. So I'm just saying, there's a potential we're probably going to generate some more sales and maybe hopefully get you into some more stores as well. So just sit back and we'll see how it goes, man. But we're working,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
out here working, man. You get me?
Hell
But
yeah.
it was
Hell yeah, man.
very very happy that you took the time to get involved, bro. I know you're a busy guy, but yeah, really happy to have you involved and part of this process. Something that we're very passionate about and have got big plans for moving forward. So,
And I really believe in it, and I'm very, very grateful for you, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you for
What we're gonna do, I want to work on bringing it physical in some sense, in terms of like the initiative, so people can come in to a space, wherever that may be. We're not sure how we're going to do it yet, but let's say there's people out there who maybe not graphic designers and can't, use Illustrator and Photoshop, but they've got good ideas. Maybe they can sketch or whatever. The idea is that they could then come into the space, and we'll have graphic designers who can support them in bringing their ideas digitally and then submitting them into the next round, so to speak, and then even traveling with it and then going to different cities, and making it more localized as well and giving, little local communities this opportunity as well. But just some ideas, man. Just some ideas, yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, yeah. You're sick, man. Thank you for real.
Right,
thank you. I will let you up.